Hi guys, thanks for coming and listening. I'll give you a good update if my presentation ends up on the screen. There we go. So I thought I'd take it from the top. About a year ago when I was standing here prior to PDAC, I think Great Bear had about a 10 to $12 million market cap. Today we're sitting here with about a $130 million market cap. So our shareholders last year made about, well, let's say for round numbers, $120 million. So this is always when I look at investing in anything, I mean, I'm looking at whether I can actually generate a return, right? So the question that I get asked a lot these days is, well, you did so well for everybody, last year. They come up and they do this. They generally pat me on the back and they say, good job, Chris, job well done. What are you doing next? And I said, well, next we're bringing Great Bear to the next level. This is really our intention. So I always get a little spooked listening to Greg talk because, you notice I spilt tea on myself when I think I read the debt number off the screen or something. It's just astonishing. These are like fake numbers, right? So, but the bottom line is with a company like Great Bear, the reason that we've done well and the reason I think we have a good future is because real gold discoveries are really, really rare. Now, I've been in the business now for 20 years working as a geologist. So I've worked all over the world. I've drilled projects all over the place. The gold that you see up on the screen there from our Dixie property in the Red Lake District of Ontario, that is better than anything else I've seen come out of the ground in my career, in my 20-year career to date. And what makes that really unique is that gold is right beside a highway, right beside a power line, in a major mining district that has over 50 million ounces of global resource and over 30 million ounces of gold produced to date. So if you're looking at comparable projects and you're in what is not a bull market, this is definitely not a bull market for commodities, but if you're looking at comparable projects, they may have nice grades, they may have a discovery, but maybe they're not near infrastructure, maybe they're in an unstable political jurisdiction. To make money for your shareholders, which is what this business is all about, you better check off all those boxes about risk, grade, availability, proximity to surface, all these things. This project, fortunately for us, checks all that off. And I'm going to show you why I think there's a long way to go for Great Bear, just based on some of the precedents in this district. And even if I don't advance the slides at all or I don't say anything else, the other discoveries like this in the district when they were new, when they were a new gold discovery like ours in the Red Lake District, they were worth billions of dollars. So one of them made GoldCorp into the company that it became. It went from hundreds of millions of dollars to a $37 billion market cap, largely off the extreme levels of profitability from the Red Lake gold mine, a high-grade discovery, much like this, but at 2 kilometers vertical depth. So one of the themes, I'll just show you a few key slides on it, is that we have very similar types of gold mineralization, geometry, and whatever, but ours is on surface. So the economic implications for that, I think, are very positive. So with that preamble, I'll just go through a few of these key slides and put my glasses back on. So a forward-looking statement, I am saying forward-looking things, just be aware of that. This is why we're in the business, the image that you see in front of you here. That's high-grade gold that's come out of our project. That material, some of it's run multi-ounce, some of it has run over 50 ounces per ton. Anytime that you can find that sitting right near surface beside a highway and infrastructure and other things, you have a value proposition for your shareholders. So Great Bear at a glance, we own our projects 100%. That's very unusual in our business, as well as having no royalties on any of them. So just in a nutshell, we have about $14.5 million in our treasury on a fully diluted basis. That's about $22 million in cash. That's enough money for us to drill for a couple of years, hundreds of drill holes without needing to go back to the market for more financing. So the financing risk on the company is very minimal. That's also extremely unusual. So we also have a very good exploration team. And I'm going to have to go through this a little bit quickly. There's a warrant schedule if you want to see it. We've gone through during the price appreciation last year, we cleared out about 10 million warrants in the company. We had the odd position of having more money each month than we had the month before. That's how warrants are supposed to work. The institutional ownership on the company, it's increased from about 15% to about somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 to 30% now. Rob McEwen of GoldCorp and McEwen Mining and other fame is our biggest individual shareholder. He has about 12% of the company on a fully diluted basis. Management actually owns about 15%. This is about out of date. Rob Cudney, who's made a lot of money on similar mining deals like this in Red Lake, he owns a few percent of the company as well. So tight ownership, good cash on hand, and a very tight share structure. Only 38 million shares issued and outstanding. Good team. I'll have to glance over this. There's the project locations in dark blue. They're just off the side of the highway going into town there in Red Lake. It's about a 15-minute drive from a number of other mines and mills and other nice high-grade gold occurrences. Why is Red Lake important? Well, Red Lake is value. Red Lake is value in the ground, or value into the company shareholder pockets for ounces in the ground. So you get very good ounce in the ground valuations here. The main Red Lake gold mine, the Discovery, this was one of the most profitable gold mines in the world for a period of over a decade. And again, this is gold mineralization that's sitting over 2 kilometers down in the earth, but because of the high grades and concentration of gold, it made GoldCorp into the company it was. You also have other recent transactions in the district, some discoveries that were sold for well over $1 billion, and you have ounce in the ground valuations you can point to with some of our peers in the district, which are very attractive. What we're drilling off at Great Bear is a big gold system. This is some geophysics that we have overlaid on our 25-kilometer long property. You can see that what effectively we have is very big faults. And I actually just saw this in another presentation a few minutes ago. But Dixie, our project, sits on top of a big high-angle fault that brings all that gold-bearing fluid and alteration right to surface. The other area where that happens in the district is at the main Red Lake gold mine and on the main trend. So if you're in some of these other areas where you don't get the high-angle faults going to surface, it's very difficult to get the gold up to the place where you're actually able to mine it. Some of the results that we've generated have been very nice. This was our 5th drill hole in the project, 10 meters of 16 grams per ton gold at about 100 meters depth, step outs over 1.5 kilometers away, shallow drilling that shows width, and original drilling from Teck Resources and others, also very nice numbers. What really got things rolling with Great Bear, though, was this Hinge zone discovery. This was about 9 months ago now. So at that point, we drilled off some 22 meters of 19 grams, including 5 of 51, 7 meters of 68 grams, some deeper drilling that we had done at the time, and then we began following up. We're starting to see in some of the drilling these sort of bonanza grades that Red Lake is famous for. So whenever you can get a meter or so of 900 or so grams, it's phenomenal looking core, 50 ounces per ton. I have a chunk of it in my pocket if anybody wants to see it. It's something I travel around with a bit. But this is what we're starting to see in some of the drilling now, is we've begun to step out along the Hinge zone discovery, and this was phenomenal. We just put out this news about a week ago. So the vein system, when we originally got involved with the project, we could see that it went right from surface and it goes steeply down like everything else in the district. What we're seeing right now is this Hinge zone mineralization is multiple gold veins. So not just individual gold veins like we thought we had before, but multiple gold veins. And this is what it looks like when you drill 138 feet of multiple high-grade gold veins. So what we're seeing is a network of high-grade veins that are going right from surface down to some depth. We don't know what the full depth is, but the grades on those have been phenomenal. So this is some of the stuff that we put out recently, but you can see we're just hitting multiple zones, so very nice grades. If you think about the main Red Lake gold mine that's operated by GoldCorp, the average mining, the average zone widths are about 0.5 to 2 meters. Right, so something that's about the width of one of these chairs or a couple of these chairs to a few of these chairs. That's about the actual true width of what they mine at 2 kilometers depth at extreme levels of profitability. So just for comparison, what you're seeing here with the widths and grades, very, very nice mineralization. And this is what the Red Lake District is known for and should be known for, but multiple gold veins that we're seeing in the current results. This is the big fold pattern that you see at the main Red Lake gold mine at their high-grade, the high-grade zone. But this is a map looking down at about 2 kilometers vertical depth. You see it's gold, gold on one side of the fold, gold on the other side of the fold, and gold in the middle. What you see here is the same scale image on our project, big fold, gold on one side, gold on the other side, gold concentrated on shears in the middle. What that means is On the left side of the image, you've got something that's produced over 15 million ounces of high-grade gold at very nice profitability. On our project, at exactly the same scale, or very much the same scale, as close as I can eyeball it, you end up with, we don't know how many ounces we have yet, but we have a lot of gold coming out of the drill core, and it's been a very exciting discovery for us. This is what it looks like again in a same scale kind of comparison. This is a cross section through our zones. You can see the multiple sort of high-grade gold veins of the Hinge zone, the original Dixie Limb zone, and superimposed, if you put it in the scale of the main Red Lake gold mine operated by GoldCorp, our stuff would fit well inside that red box. And you can see what they have is these multiple gold zones that are developed parallel to these structural features that go down to extraordinary depths. So really what we say is we're just really scratching the surface of our system to date, and the drilling that we're going to be doing this year, which is hundreds of drill holes, should be generating some very nice results. So Great Bear, if you like high-grade gold, a very large drill program, a fully funded company, a tight share structure, and precedents in the area that have all generated a lot of money for their shareholders at many, many multiples of what we're currently sitting at in our valuation, well, it might be a company that you'd like to take a look at and maybe monitor our progress over the next 2 years as we continue to drill and generate high-grade results. Thanks very much.